Hello and good morning, my fellow shining being and beautiful soul I'm going to add this morning. It is I, Sylvia, coming to you from beautiful Eastbourne by the sea. And one of these days I'm going to go and say these words and I'm going to be down on the beach and you can actually see beautiful Eastbourne by the sea behind me. The day of this might come soon, or, well, one day we'll see that will be happening. Ah, God, so many things are happening in the world and so many weirdnesses are going on. And this morning I was actually uh, in a bit of despair. I was despairing. I really was. I was listening to what's been happening is that as I was ill for a couple of weeks and then another sort of week of recovery. And what I was doing during that time was I was listening to podcasts and streams from various different opinions to, just connect with what's going on in the world and what topics are important to people and what they're talking about and what the big ideas at the moment are and the conflicts. Good morning, Helen and Ilka, two of my very favorite shining beings in the world. Blessings and sparkles to you, my beautiful ladies. I'm delighted that you have come to join me this morning. It is people just exactly like the two of you that I really, that I really love talking to, because you are both examples of people who are thinking and feeling deeply at the same time. And Marianne, good morning. Solar Phoenix, that's Paul, isn't it? Good morning. I was just saying that the people that I like to talk to, these are people who are both thinking and feeling deeply. They don't just act in the world like robots, but they actually have feelings and they think about life and how they can be better people, how they can make more of life for themselves, how they can have better experiences. And that's my people who are thinking and feeling deeply. Thinking deeply by itself isn't good enough, and we'll come to that. Well, I say good morning to Mary. Good morning, Mary and Marianne. Marianne, very welcome. My comments are very much directed to people like you, exactly like you. And Bear, my dear Bear, good morning. Hello, Ireland. Wonderful. I love Ireland. Ireland's beautiful. Yeah, so the title of this podcast was that I'm despairing, and I really am. I did this morning. I had a real, oh God. I was listening to this podcast from this very well-meaning person, and as always, the questions he was asking can't be answered in this 5 sense current scientific paradigm. They just can't be answered. Good morning, Heidi and Roberta Ann. Hello. Yeah, this I'm despairing that what I know and what I've known since 1993, that I can't get this out into these people. I can't get this information out. I have tried. I've written to these people. Just ugh, it is so frustrating when you actually have this core answer that they're looking for, or they're saying they're looking for it. I don't think they're even looking for it. I think the big problem here is that everybody is so entrenched in their sessions. Good morning, Heidi. That they just man, it literally it drives me nuts. They are stuck in this 5 sense thing where people are just bio robots and everything we do is because of something that's going on in the brain. And you can't explain human beings like that. You can't. Human, yeah, without the whole thing with the emotions, human beings make no sense. And this is why I was saying that I love people and I love to talk to people who feel deeply and think deeply, the two together. It's no good at all just going on feelings. This is what we're seeing in those rioters and in the people that counter riot against the rioters and then the counter rioters, or in the Twitter thing, or in these bizarre discussions that they're not discussions, they're just fights, cat fights that people are having on Twitter, is that there's a lot of feeling and there's no thinking. It doesn't work. All that creates is just chaos and setting fire to all sorts of things, throwing babies out with the bathwater, whichever way you want to talk about that. That doesn't work. And then on the other side, you got these people who are trying to solve this by thinking and ignoring the feelings. So you got thinking Muppet and feeling Muppet, and they're like, never the twain shall meet. There's no argument that can be resolved between them. There's no middle ground between them. There's nothing. It's a nightmare. We need to think and feel, love and logic. And I've got this damn thing that I saw in the animal experiment in between 1987, finally till 1993, when the big light bulb came on. And I've known this all these years, and I have tried so hard to tell people about it and try and explain this to them. And whenever you manage to get somebody nailed down in a corner enough to say to them that there's these exchanges between living beings, and that they can be, they make living beings either happier or they bring them down. They somehow criticize them and destroy them. And that these energy exchanges, they are the foundation of what we think, how we act, everything. When you can get somebody in a corner, and I'm just remembering telling this to a young guy who was on a camera crew from one of our old GOE trainings at the View Hotel in Eastbourne. I literally cornered him on the balcony and told him this, and he had his big aha moment. Oh my God, this is such useful information. I don't know how to bring this information out. So this morning I despaired. I sat there and I despaired. I just went, oh, fucking hell. 27 years I've been trying to tell people. And I don't know how to tell them this. I don't. I honestly. I am so grateful that you guys are here and have listened and have seen the sense in it and have started to use this to your own benefit in your life. I am so grateful to you guys. So first of all here, like, my sincere gratitude. Because if it wasn't for you guys, I hop off a cliff. I would. Oh, getting all emotional here. And that's okay. When something is really moving, then we should have that experience. We should allow ourselves to have the experience of emotions. It's important. And it's also a sign for other people. Just saying words to you is not why you are here. You are here to get the whole thing, the whole package from me, the whole thing, the information, but also the energy and where I'm coming from. And all of this comes with just being, as honest as I can be with you guys. And that includes when I get extremely emotional, which I am right now. I might have to blow my nose. I am so grateful that you are here with me, because if you weren't, I'd hop off a fucking cliff. There's nothing more irritating than knowing a solution, or at least a pathway to a solution, and nobody will listen to you. Well, nobody, this is incorrect. And only the very best and brightest will listen to you. And that is a good start. And I was in so much despair. I said to my dear energy mind, okay, what pendant should I put on today to help me? And it just came out with the red mirror ball, the life mirror ball, the sexy mirror ball, as it were. And that really helped. As soon as I put that on, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm in despair now, but I won't be in a little while. I'll be talking to my good people. Good morning, Karen. Welcome and thank you for being here. And please do listen to the replay, because I said some things at the beginning that absolutely also applies to you. Yeah, so I put that on, and I was better after that. I was better after that. I was not so much in despair anymore. And of course, despairing doesn't help any of us, does it? So I'm now feeling a lot happier. And even though I've just shed a tear, I've this thing with the gratitude, right? I always say this, that when people say to you, you should be more grateful, that's not gratitude or how it works. This will never work. Gratitude is a spontaneous thing that just rises up in you like a fountain, and it's an experience. And I just had this moment of being super, super grateful for your support, for your ongoing positive encouragement that you give me, the financial support that you give me to allow me to do this work. You know, if you didn't do that, then I couldn't, yeah, God knows what I'd be doing. Stacking shelves in Asda. You know, I have no idea. So I am super, super grateful to you. And not just to you guys who are here right now, but most particularly, and today, particularly, so, so grateful that you are actually here in my moment of crisis and despair. But also all the other people out there who have supported my work in one way or the other. And I just want to send all of them a huge thank you. I really am super grateful. I couldn't do what I'm doing without you guys. Oh, God, I didn't know that was coming. ah, Good morning, Martin. Good morning, Paul. Wendy, good morning. And yes, thank you, Katerina. I'm going to put that on the screen, what Katerina said. Thank you for your enormous effort. The seeds would grown up 25 years, but it took 40 years for Moses. One awakened is already good result. Yeah, look at the number of the GOE people. Very, very, very true. And at this moment that I was just having with that was that it's a star matrix moment, really. I was looking at the billions and billions of people who I've failed to reach, no matter how hard I tried. I was looking at my failure, basically. When what actually is really important is looking at the success. And when I did, and I looked at the comments and I saw that you guys were here with me, the whole thing just flipped over. And instead of feeling like a failure, I started to feel like this enormous sense of gratitude and achievement. Okay, yes. And you're right, Katrina. It is, I haven't failed yet. I haven't failed yet. And this whole thing with the logic of energy, modern energy, is so outside the established brainwashing and the thinking paradigm that we even managed to get as far as we did without anybody burning me at the stake or something else horrendous happening is a miracle in and of itself, for which I am super, super grateful. And you never know, perhaps the fact that I haven't been able to reach mainstream audiences is a good thing. Perhaps the past aspects wouldn't have been ready for that. And I'm going to apologize. I'm going to leave for a moment and blow my nose. ah, That's better. Oh, what we're doing then here. Butterfly effect. Yes. Ah, that's exactly right. Karen said butterfly effect, and Bear said it's not just GOE people, it's all the people that each one of us has touched. This is absolutely, yes, this is absolutely true. We cannot know what our efforts actually do in this butterfly effect sense. My energy mind just reminded me of one particular thing. I posted an article, I think, on magic spells and potions about something, and I got a message from somebody who was working in a hardware store in northern Canada in a blizzard. There was no people there was nobody coming, and they'd been on the internet and they saw this article and they thanked me for it. They actually took the time to thank me for it. And yes, this is very, very true. There's more than we will ever know. And also when we work with clients or when we train people, I have no idea how many people have read my books or my free downloads and used them for something. I mean, before we stopped counting, the old tapping protocol had been downloaded something ridiculous 14 million times. So yeah, there is it doesn't dwell. Look here, I'm getting the moral of the day, getting it right now. It doesn't do to dwell on the failure. It doesn't. And that's exactly what I was doing this morning. I was listening to this podcast, and it was just the enormity of me not having been able to reach 8 billion people with this information that just overwhelmed me. And that's not what we need to focus on. Look, energy mind just saying, okay, so you have this absolute wilderness, right? And your little garden with a couple of tiny little trees in it, because I just had a tree experience, tiny little trees with it. Your little trees are not going to grow if you're standing staring at the wilderness and just oh my god, I'll never be able to conquer this entire wilderness. What you need to do is turn around and look after your little trees and weed them and give them water and breathe on them for giving them a little bit of extra CO2. They really like that. And look after your garden. And that's what I need to do. And this is what I normally do when I'm energy high. I try to look after my garden as best as I can. And just, that is where the effort needs to go. That's where the effort needs to be. Oh, well, let's see what Helen said. Yesterday, friend was having a meltdown over fallout with neighbor. I took her through tapping. She calmed down and went to work things out with the neighbor. The bad scenario had been going on over a week. Fantastic, Helen. Well done. Everybody send a big round of psychic applause to dear Helen, and well done for that. Oh, the pixie just brought something. I have a pixie. There's a pixie, and it brought me something. Look what the pixie brought me. It's my little oak tree. Look, I love you. I just makes me happy. Oh, yes. I'll leave him here. That's okay, Pixie. Thank you, Pixie. Yes, but well done, Helen. Well done. That's fantastic. And this is also something, I sometimes wonder how many tears have remained uncried because of what any of us have been doing. I sometimes wonder that. This is the sort of results that you can't write them down in a ledger or put them in a I don't know, sort of a list of statistics. There's things that happen, positive things that happen because of what we do, but then there's this world of negatives that ends, that possible negative timelines that just collapse when we do something else. Now, so Helen's neighbor had been fighting with the neighbor for a long time, and now she's not fighting anymore. How much pain isn't there because of that? how much space has been created for something better or something new to come in. I mean, it's really quite fascinating, isn't it? Oh, interesting. Helen says she was a recovering alcoholic and was about to go out for a drink. Ah, so she came to you instead, good woman. Yeah, right. The results could have been catastrophic. Chain of events that could have led to all sorts of terrible things. And yeah, and that's sort of summed up when I say that how many tears have remained uncried because of what you did. You know, as a friend, as a therapist, as a healer, as a trainer, as a person. And that's really quite extraordinary. Whenever I think that, I do kind of see an ocean of tears that has remained uncried. And that's the beautiful thing is that there's then this space for something else to happen instead. So when you're not sitting and crying, what might you be doing instead? Perhaps you might be creating something, or you might be discovering something. I don't know if all of you saw my post about this. I was doing some weeding in the darkest possible corner of my garden, and I came across this little tree. It's an oak tree. And when I saw it and I recognized it, I just this little bolt of joy went through me. And this whole oak thing, English oak, green and pleasant lands, ancient forests, the whole thing with the slow nature of growth and wonderment. Ah, I had a real star moment with my little oak tree. And I'm so pleased that I could put it in a pot and take it away from there. And I'm going to look for a place where I can plant him when he's a little bit bigger and stronger. And so where he can possibly live for 100 years, 200 years. Are there such places left? Well, again, we're right back to that. We can but try, can we? Oh, oh, my dear friends. Oh, yes. Ah, yes, I'm feeling much better after this. And this whole thing with star matrix thinking that we really need to start looking in the right directions, putting right. Okay, so this is important. My original breakthrough in to get me to this whole energy thing, how it works, why it is not about one person, but it is an interaction. This whole thing was about attention. The original breakthrough was about attention and attention-seeking behavior. That's where that came in. That literally, this old thing, where attention goes, energy flows. And this attention thing is the key, I think, to conscious human beings. Oh, need to go back to that. Paul, thank you. The future is full of great hacks from my oak tree. Ah, ah, my English oak. Oh, that is beautiful. Yes, Karen, you're right. That is beautiful. This attention thing, though, this is a conscious thing. We have this conscious mind that animals don't have to that degree that we do. They have consciousness, they have self-awareness, they have a great deal of intelligence, much, much more than all the behavior researchers ever get credit for. They're much, much wiser and more intelligent. It's a different kind of intelligence to what we are doing with our conscious minds, but it is absolute intelligence nonetheless. So I'd like to make that point. God, B.F. Skinner and his black box. May the angels forgive him, for I am struggling. We can choose where to place our attention. This is something that is I think, hugely underestimated by all of us, the power that has. In my case, just now, from placing my attention away from the 8 billion people I haven't talked to the ones that I'm talking to right now, and the many others who have been able to help, that switch of attention completely switched my entire energy body. My emotions, my states of being, it just switched me from being a miserable person to being a useful person. The switch of attention from the trauma memories of where our parents have beaten, neglected us, whatever the hell they've done, to switching to times when they actually did something good and we felt loved, or we got a present we liked, or whatever the hell it was. Change is the same change. It brings about that same change. It switches from you from a miserable person to a useful person. Somebody who's got something to give, somebody who's intelligent, who's a better version of themselves. It is time and time again this, and how it's done is by attention, by conscious attention. When there's a creature that comes and seeks attention, and that doesn't matter if this is a human being, the President of the United States, a Nobel Prize winner, a chimpanzee, or a dolphin, or a dog, or a cat, or even a pot plant that's gone, because you didn't water it enough. When something seeks your attention and you give that attention, the thing goes, and rises up. We have the power to raise up things, to grow them, to make them become better versions of themselves. We have that power through the power of attention. That was the original research breakthrough. And I think getting back to that and to really saying to people, this old native saying, there's two wolves fighting. One is called misery and one is called happiness. The one that will survive is the one that you feed. That's the same thing. That's saying this attention. In the attention is the power. Now, I've given attention to very unhappy people for 3 weeks straight. It's no wonder. Well, they needed to be heard, I guess. I needed to hear them. I needed to hear that flood of what's going on, really to refocus me on where we are today, right here, right now, on growing our garden, of planting our seeds, of touching people's lives, and really, I don't know, even role modeling this business that when you look at the world with 6 senses, it becomes at the same time more loving and more logical. And that's so super important to me. If I can, please, if I keel over tomorrow or die of something weird, which is possible, please do continue to tell people about that. It's of the essence. Oh, Martin, darling, thank you very much. Yeah, in a relationship, if you have 2 people who know this energy business, it's a wonderful thing. There's so many fights that are not going to be had, so many tears that won't be cried. And instead there can be laughter and joy and strange things happening with pool noodles. But I digress, or do I? No, not really. Okay, guys, right. I was going to do all sorts of things today. I have completely failed to do a full-on marketing campaign for Star Matrix 3, which starts on September 14th. Previous travelers to the star are very welcome to do it again, afresh, anew. Find more memories for their books of stars at the special river rate. You know about that. So I welcome you back with open arms. And new people take the leap of faith and make 2020 count for something. That's the best I can do with a marketing program for Star Matrix 3. There will be there who's going to be there is going to be there, and it's going to be a smaller trip than the ones before, but that doesn't mean to say it couldn't be even more fun. So I've done that part. I've done the marketing saying. Then if I didn't do that, I'd get beaten with sticks. But now let us conclude with something better than that. Let's go and do just for a moment together. Let's assume the heart position. Take a deep breath in and out with me. I'm not going to waste my out breath. It's precious. I do like that. I'd like you to just for a moment focus on the good things that you have done. The things that you have accomplished and achieved. And please take each achievement as an achievement. If you have 3 followers on Instagram, please take my sad story from today and don't focus on the 8 billion people who are not following you on Instagram, but focus on the 3 you've got. My God, this is getting very metaphorical, isn't it? But it's true. That's the crazy thing about it. It's totally true. You focus on the 3 you've got and think yourself lucky and blessed that you have 3 people who listen to you, who like you. They deserve your attention back. If your house is small and miserable, or filthy, or whatever, unorganized, love it for the shelter it gives you. Let us have an amnesty on all the things that we haven't achieved. Forget it for a moment. Let's turn our powerful attention to that which we have achieved for a change. That is very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. And it's the right way to go. It's absolutely the right way to go. Every achievement is the foundation for something else, something new to build upon it. Every achievement is an inspiration, a little star to guide you on your way. Just take a moment to go through the topics that are the most important to you and focus on what you have achieved, what you have accomplished, what you have learned, what you have been given in your own personal sphere, in your own personal context. We have to end that endless game of it's never good enough, never enough money, even if you're a billionaire, black hole, never enough love, never enough this, never enough that. Let's end that destructive, despairing, downward spiral game and turn it around and focus on our strengths and what we have achieved and gain a sense of amazement and gratitude for that. I believe that will help us all on our path forward And the truth is indeed a pathless land. There is no two of us. Each one of us is so unique. Each one of us really does have a destiny. Each one of us really does have a life. I think that's quite wonderful. That's not just us here in our beautiful little energy bubble. It's everyone. And I would love more people to know that, to understand that, to feel that. Every person who does will have tears that will remain uncried. Yes. My dear, dear, dear people. An amnesty on negativity, yes. Okay, my dear, dear friends. Thank you so, so much. Yes, for life. Gratitude for life. It's a miracle. It's an absolute miracle. And the power of our attention, it is what we place our attention on. And that is so the key. And if nothing else came out of that this morning from my despair to it, I feel really empowered and much, much better and ready for going back to work on Monday with my thing of trying to reach out and have more people understand that their energy body is real, and eventually that, yes, you do really have a soul. There really is an afterlife. I know I don't like to stress that because it frightens the newbies, makes it sound as though we're doing here as a religion, and it's not. It's a simple observation of the truth of nature, and that if you give positive attention to things and pay attention to them, that's the key to making things grow and bringing more happiness into the world. My dear, 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 dear fellow shining beings, and I love saying that, it's beautiful. It's shining being. That's it. I love to talk to shining beings. And my dear shining beings, I wish you a wonderful rest of the day. I wish you a great week. Play to your strengths, then you're always strong. In moments of crisis, turn your attention to something that's positive. And if all else fails, I tell you, if all else fails, just put your hands on your heart and find something that you love. And just feel how that simple thing of loving something empowers you, makes you stronger, gives you the energy to deal with the crazy world in which we find ourselves. Lots and lots of love to you. Thank you for being here with me. And I'll see you again next Sunday, I hope. Bye for now. Bye.